That's one of those cards. When Birds doesn't get removed, it is one of the more really broken cards in Modern. Just any 1-mana mana accelerant.
There's a reason that they're moving off of 1-mana mana creatures in Standard.
Yeah, it's just Elvish Mystic. Even when it's as narrow as that, it's still great.
And there is Silvergill for Sam on turn 2.
Yeah, draws him a card. Shows a copy of Marrow Regery. Sam will accelerate into Kitchen Finks on the second turn.
And with the Kitchen Finks, Berkenbile building towards going for that infinite life combo, which Cocchiarella is forced to have a very small subset of cards in his deck to interact with.
You pick up a copy of Minamo, School at Water's Edge. Down fairly free in this deck. As far as Legends go, he has 2 copies of Vendilion Click and 1 copy of Kira Great Glass Spinner. And here's Marrow Regery. That'll pump Adept up to a 3-2, but that's not big enough to get through Kitchen Finks, as Cocchiarella will just have to pass back.
Cocchiarella has a Curse Catcher in hand, and I believe a 2-mana Lord as well. So potentially could have cast Curse Catcher on that turn, which would put Berkenbile off of Resolving Collected Company for this turn.
Yeah, the thought here is that you're going to have to respect the combo very shortly.
Suppose that the plan here involves using Marrow Regery. Assume that Berkenbile's not able to assemble the combo, tap down a bunch of blockers, and try to close the game quickly.
Yeah, you should be able to do it in 2 turns, but you're right, because Curse Catcher wasn't cast here. Berkenbile is going to take that opportunity to immediately resolve a Collected Company. Now we'll see how good did he hit. Birds of Paradise and Tide Hollow Sculler. That's some of the less scary things that could have happened.
I will give that company a C-, and I think I'm being generous.
Yeah, we see Curse Catcher, Phantasmal Image, Master of the Pearl Trident, and Dismember as the cards in Sam's hand.
With the presence of Dismember, you're either taking Dismember or getting your Sculler dismembered. So the decision is functionally whether or not you want to tax Cocchiarella's mana or the Dismember matters.
Probably just take the Dismember so that Cocchiarella doesn't have the option. Maybe if Sam has the combo, right, this protects the combo.
Right.
All it takes is a Viscera Seer and a Melira or an Afenza. To gain infinite life from Berkenbile's side. So he'll take a copy of Dismember, leaving Cocchiarella with just creatures. Passes the turn. He is still at a healthy 18.
And going into this turn here, should Cocchiarella use the Phantasmal Image to copy the Marrow Regery, he can start doing a lot of fancy stuff. Suddenly the Curse Catcher could untap 2 lands. You could cast another 2-mana Lord from there, tap down a couple blockers. Really put a lot of pressure on Berkenbile to combo off on the next turn.
Yeah, Cocchiarella should be able to get a 2-turn clock here fairly easily. One of the things that neither of these decks is very heavy on removal, so the synergies between their creatures are really showing at full strength on both sides.
And we'll see what Cocchiarella decides to do with this 2-mana here. He could deem that there's a better use for the Phantasmal Image down the line, just crank out a couple creatures here. Given that he has not produced a Spreading Seas and that Berkenbile is not playing any islands, currently the Lord of Atlantis effects, they wouldn't make his creatures unblockable.
They wouldn't make him unblockable in the literal sense, though. Between the fact that he can make 2 Lords this turn, or 3 Lords this turn, actually, these creatures would be pretty unblockable.
They do become the Abyss.
I kind of like the line you had with the Phantasmal Image. It looks like Cocchiarella is going to make this be a lot more conservative on this one. Playing Curse Catcher, untapping an island. Yeah, if this was a play, I'm a little surprised that we didn't start on the Phantasmal Image.
And the thing about casting the Phantasmal Image, it's not a Merfolk spell, so it would not cause the Regery to trigger.
Right. He still could cast his whole hand, though, right? He would start on Image, cast Curse Catcher, untap 2 lands, cast Master, untap 2 lands,
well, I'm saying
cast Lord, untap 2 lands.
I'm saying from here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, from here he can't do the play anymore.
Right.
So he plays Curse Catcher, tapping down Kitchen Finks. And without any more Lords, he's going to swing in. This does mean that Sculler could block. I don't know if Berkenbile will do that, but he's given him the option. With another Lord in hand, he seems like he's trying to bait a block here. Like he actually wants the trade with Tidehollow Sculler, so he's offering creatures. I mean, if he plays another Lord, then Berkenbile is just not going to block.
Right. He's offering the trade, and perhaps his plan is actually to Phantasmal Image the Tidehollow Sculler.
Ooh, okay.
Get a look at Berkenbile's hand.
That's pretty interesting.
If Berkenbile doesn't block, then he just gets his Dismember back. He's pretty insulated against the combo. If Berkenbile doesn't block, then Cocchiarella can just take a look at the hand, hopefully be able to take a card that matters.
What happens is that Sculler trades with Regery. Berkenbile will go to 15, but Cocchiarella has played this line conservatively enough that he doesn't really have any great plays left. He got a Dismember back, but if he wants to hold that up, he has to just say go, and that's what he'll do. I guess this is what he wanted when he made that attack, but I'm not sure this is where actually he wanted to end up.
I'm inclined to agree. Does have a couple Lords in tow, so as long as he's able to disrupt the combo, he'll be able to apply a lot of pressure to Berkenbile's life total.
Now that he's lost the Regery and the Image, so the Regery and he can't image it, I don't know if he'll be able to cast all these creatures in his hand before the game's out. He just doesn't have enough mana. Right, with your creatures being moderately sized, now Kitchen Finks is a problem again, right? The card's still pretty good.
Yes.
Berkenbile, land and go. Cavern of Souls, the pickup for Merfolk.
Unfortunately, it's not an extra land in the sense that it allows Cocchiarella to cast 2 Lords and leave up Dismember. Makes a 5th land live on the following turn. Certainly would have preferred a Mutavault in that capacity.
So here's Phantasmal Image out of the Merfolk deck. Looks like he might be trying to copy Silvergill Adept.
Looking for more protection against the combo, I suppose.
In response to the Image, Berkenbile is going to Path to Exile away the Silvergill Adept. So Cocchiarella will get his choice of Curse Catcher, Kitchen Finks. Kitchen Finks is actually pretty good, right? When it dies, he can have it persist back as something else.
Right. Curse Catcher would give him double Curse Catcher, but given that Berkenbile has access to so much mana, that doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, it looks like Berkenbile in hand, by the way, has a copy of Anafenza Kintry Spirit, but maybe not anything else when it comes to the combo. Yeah, Kitchen Finks was the copy, so Cocchiarella going up to 22. All right, so Berkenbile, we'll start on Anafenza Kintry Spirit. Dismember, of course, at the ready for the Merfolk player. Both players know about this. Berkenbile will just say go, and Cocchiarella is not going to do anything in response. He does draw a copy of Seize Claim for the turn. And
with the board he currently has, he can't really develop a lethal attack, but the Seize Claim will help him increase his clock.
Yeah, this has been the problem, is that Cocchiarella's played conservatively enough that he hasn't generated enough pressure here. Yes, he stopped the combo, and he's done well at that, but he's not dealing damage.
Yeah, Berkenbile still at 15.
Yeah, and there's not. You see Seize Claim being cast. Berkenbile says, what are you casting on? Cocchiarella says, your swamp. Okay, so the swamp becomes an island. And that will mean that this Master of the Pearl Trident has finally opened the window for some damage. Now, Image is an oof, not a merfolk, so it's just Curse Catcher that can get in for right now. But it will swing in, and for 2. Berkenbile has another Path to Exile. I think, oh, this is great. It's going to path away the Master of the Pearl Trident. So with this creature gone, Sam's Merfolk will lose Island Walk.
And run right into this Kitchen Finks.
Right.
Or this Anafenza. Dealer's choice.
So, Island Walk is now gone. It's just a 1/1.
And the game has sort of developed into a position where Berkenbile's starting to pull ahead just on the strength of his cards. Kitchen Finks is just stronger than non-lorded Merfolk.
Right. I'm not positive that there needs to be a combo anymore. I mean, so say Cocchiarella dismembers one of these guys, that's fine. Berkenbile, I mean, certainly if he's got something like, all he needs is one Gavany Township and he probably wins this game.
Right.
So he'll cast Melira. And now with 2 of the 2-drops, Viscera Seer could really be strong here. He'll bolster. He'll play Birds of Paradise. That will bolster as well. Yeah, he's just going for a very regular damage plan here. And he'll start with the attacks.
And for Cocchiarella, letting those bolster triggers resolve, not doing anything with Dismember, it's becoming very curious what the actual plan is for that card.
Well, I think he's waiting until Sam actually shows the combo. And when that happens, well, at this point, yeah, when that happens, then he would dismember part of it.
Not losing the combo, I get that. The problem is he's starting to lose to Birds of Paradise.
Right. Draw is Spreading Seas over on the Merfolk side. And he's going to have to win in a hurry here. Looking at the Obzon side of the board, there's right now 9 power of creatures. That's only going up. So we see Lord of Atlantis. Now we see Spreading Seas. Draw another one. Draws Mutavault.
Yeah,
and that's all he can do. Yeah, because his image isn't even set to a Merfolk.
Yep. No attacks really available on that turn.
Berkenbile just going to keep going. Here's Kasali Pride Mage. That's going to bolster. Has to bolster onto the tapped birds. Going to swing for 2 in the air. Could have just swung with 1 bird. I don't think it really matters. They weren't blocking.
Yeah. Phantasmal Image off the top. That one's not doing too much. Cocchiarella can double the amount of lords that he has. Start chipping in with this Mutavault.
Well, at some point, I think, and maybe it was even last turn, Cocchiarella needs to start just attacking with that Kitchen Finks he has.
Yes.
I mean, it can persist back as something else, so that's fine. Another Phantasmal Image from Cocchiarella. And with this image copying Lord of Atlantis, this still might be a game that the Merfolk can win. Activates Mutavault. He's got a 4/4 Mutavault.
Plus a 3/3 Lord of Atlantis.
Yeah, 3/3 Lord of Atlantis. This is fine. The Kitchen Finks image could swing. So looks like he's just going to go in with the Merfolk.
I suppose really just wants to hang that back to not take too much damage on the ground.
Yeah, my thought would be I'd love to see it persist back as a Lord of Atlantis, but it can do that as a blocker too.
Right.
So this is a swing for 7.
Now Berkenbile actually has to combo off.
Yeah, this is becoming a problem. And there is still a dismember in Cocchiarella's hand, so this still might go in the direction of Merfolk.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to what Sam's last card is there.
And Berkenbile might need a perfect collected company to win from here. Be nice if he produced something to clean up some of these lords, I suppose. Not a ton in the deck away of doing that. Fiend Hunter, I suppose, can take one off the table.
Well, he's going for a play here. We'll get a look at it. Eternal Witness. Bolsters. Okay. Let's take a look over at the graveyard. He's got a Path to Exile in the graveyard, it looks like. Can he do better, or is that his best play? Collected Company. Yeah, Path is likely to not be good enough here. Which is why I like Berkenbile going for Company. So Bolster resolves, Company in hand. One card in Cocchiarella's hand. Both players know what that card is. It's Dismember. So if he companies into 2 Viscera Seers, then he's got it through a Dismember.
Yes. Something like Viscera Seer plus Fiend Hunter would also be pretty excellent. He could get one of the lords off the table and then force Cocchiarella to use that Dismember, be in a better position to top deck on the following turn.
And casts Company. What are the top 6? Did it matter? He's got 2 in play. We'll get a chance to look at those in a sec here. Looks like Tireless Tracker.
Tireless Tracker does not especially play here. You see some bolster triggers resolving.
Tracker and Noble Hierarch.
Yeah, those ones aren't good enough. Sometimes your opponent resolves Collected Company very quickly because they found the perfect cards and you're dying to them. And sometimes they have no other choice.
Yeah, and I believe Berkenbile now dead on the board. 2 lords and that Mutavault should all island walk in.
Yep.
Cocchiarella still has to make the attack.
Now, interestingly, had Berkenbile got Path to Exile back and just cleaned up one of these lords, Path on the Illusion Lord.
Yeah, he'd have had another turn, but that's about it.
Even still, he would have to combo to win.
Yeah, and I mean, I suppose the other play he could have made this turn is he could have, and this is another line he could have made. Instead of any of this, he could have sacked Qasali Pridemage to blow up a Spreading Seas, Eternal Witness to back the Pridemage, and blown up the Theses claim. It's kind of ugly. I'm not saying it's better. It would have kept him alive.
Sure.
It's probably worse. I was looking at that because he has 1 land here, and I was thinking, hey, wait, he can blow up a Spreading Seas. And you say, yeah, there's 2 of them, though. So Qasali Pridemage is attacking. Sam's going to block with his Kitchen Finks, I believe. We're checking as to which one it is.
Yeah. Assuming it is the Kitchen Finks that would persist back, he'd get another lord for his trouble.
Yeah, so that was the Finks one, and it's going to persist back as a Lord of Atlantis. So this actually just is better for Cocchiarella.
Yes. Now he is very lethal on the following turn.
Yeah, now 3 Lords of Atlantis, some islands on the other side. Looks like we'll head toward a 3rd game.
And with that being the case, these players need to be pretty concerned about the clock. Just over 11 minutes there.
And Cocchiarella going to add some more damage to the board, add some more folks, swing, lethal. Going to game 3. And you know, that felt like Berkenbile's game to win. Not that he didn't play it right. In fact, I think he bought himself far more draws than he deserved.
Right. He had some alternative lines of plays, but the ones that he made, they made sense.
No, he
likely gave him the best chance to win the game.
Yeah, if we go back to early on when Cocchiarella could have just jammed his entire hand on turn 4. And just said, tap out, play my entire hand, hit you, go. It turns out, had he done that, Sam Berkenbile would have died the next turn. He didn't. It challenges Berkenbile to have the combo. He didn't have it. Would have been a quicker game. And by playing the way he did, Berkenbile had a lot of extra turns, but he still never found the combo.
Right.
So there's only 3 dismembers in Cocchiarella's list.
And Berkenbile, both of his collected companies were pretty bad. The second one, there was a lot being asked of it, but the first copy could have been a lot better. And that's sort of why you see a lot of players very unhappy when good cards rely on some random element on the top of your deck. It's a big criticism of Aetherworks Marvel. Historically has been a criticism of Collected Company, and it's really unfortunate when a game swings so much on that quality.
Yeah, I heard players say the trick to the Collected Company mirror is to hit on your companies.
Right.
It's like, and I know that that's something you don't have control over, but I understand what they're saying because it is what decides a lot of these mirrors.
Step 1, draw more companies. Step 2, hit better creatures.
Those are important things. Now, looking at the sideboards, Cocchiarella, we didn't see it in that sideboard game, but he also has 3 copies of Relic of Progenitus, which is a very strong card in this matchup.
Yeah, you can use it as long as you keep the graveyard empty. You just have to tap it to exile a Kitchen Finks when they're trying to persist and go off with the combo that way. Or if you're able to leave up a mana, you can always just stop the combo.
So easy enough there. Especially because when his deck is played aggressively, Cocchiarella does not need to buy himself too many turns. Say he had that game and had a Relic in play, right? Then he could just quickly make a bunch of Lords and go for it.
Right.
So you mentioned about collected companies and Aetherworks Marvels. Well, there's one Marvel player who certainly didn't miss on his Marvels. That player is Jacob Baugh. Last year he was your Invitational Champion in Season 3 and now has his artwork on the Energy Counter token. That's being given away at All-Star City Games Opens and Classics here in Season 1. So that's now through the end of June. You can get them by showing up to any of our open weekends, or if those are not in the part of your country, you're not able to make it to them, you can get them for a $5 order from our website, starcitygames.com.
Maybe you need some fancy From the Vault foils. Get those on the weekly sale. Get yourself a Jacob Baugh token. That's what we Magic players call a 2-for-1. That's just good value.
All right, so the deciding game here, going to be Game 3, Berkenbile on the play. Like I mentioned before, the thing I still really like on the Obzon side of this matchup is their Birds of Paradise don't get killed.
Yeah.
And especially with him on the play, that can lead to some runaway games.
Yeah, pressing a mana advantage, especially against a deck that is so light on interaction, benefits Berkenbile quite a lot. In particular, if Cocchiarella starts casting Curse Catcher, Berkenbile, it's a lot easier to get to the requisite mana to pay the extra for Collected Company.
Mulligan for the Merfolk player. Had a close 6, but was not able to keep. See if he does better on 6. 7 minutes for the game here. We have lands and spells for Merfolk. It's going to keep and scry to the bottom. Birds of Paradise for Berkenbile. Talked about how this is so strong here. And looks like there will not be a dismember. But there will be Relic of Progenitus from Merfolk, so that'll keep the combo in check.
I don't think that Cocchiarella has a single creature in his hand.
He's got Negate. Well, he has Mutavaults, Islands, Negates. Ugh. Malira, the play for Berkenbile. And if you don't keep any creatures, you're liable to get beaten up.
Yes.
Just, Guys and Gavany Township.
Picked up another island for the draw step there.
I think that's why we saw the very quick scry to the bottom.
Right. And now with Berkenbile controlling that Malira, even animating Mutavault's not very exciting.
Spellskite for Berkenbile.
Makes it worse still.
Yeah, his combo is well protected, but his damage output's low. This is the kind of draw that Cocchiarella could come back from. And looks like he's actually going to go ahead and trade the Mutavault away with the Malira.
Yeah, Berkenbile says, sign me up for that.
Fair enough. Draws a creature, does Cocchiarella. Mutavault and pass. He had the option for a Lord there, but instead is going to go ahead and just leave up that relic.
If Berkenbile casts a Collected Company and Cocchiarella can't negate it, he is just dead. His hand just doesn't have enough going on. He can't afford to not leave that spell up.
So we go back to Berkenbile's hand. He can really control the Merfolk mana by representing that. Viscera Seer is the play. Then says go. Actually, no copies of, no land for the turn.
That's pretty bad news for Cocchiarella. He's on all lands. Berkenbile's on all spells.
Yeah, it looks like Maelstrom Pulse among others. No more coming into. So Cocchiarella, he's going to wait to deploy any creatures until he has 2 extra mana. It looks like he is strongly committed to leaving up negate. Draws Wanderwine Hub.
Ugh.
Well, he has a Merfolk for it. Shows the Master of the Pearl Trident. And to be fair, Berkenbile didn't do anything either. So, Master of the Pearl Trident and a pass. Cocchiarella actually is progressing the board.
Yeah, Berkenbile's hand pretty heavy on interactive elements, and
yeah, we're seeing like Fiend Hunter, Maelstrom Pulse.
when you have 3 mana interaction to a bunch of 2 mana lords, sometimes the Merfolk player can pull very far ahead, but given the hand that Cocchiarella has kept, 3 mana for 2 mana when he can only cast 1 spell at a turn, that's fine for Berkenbile.
Fiend Hunter hunts away the Viscera Seer, but because of Mutavault, there's still no attacks. Players now continue to play. About just under 4 minutes remaining. Cocchiarella draws a spell, but it's Dismember. There's a spell sked on the other side of the board. It's not very good.
Yeah, that's not going to be able to tag this Fiend Hunter.
So he'll just keep making lands. And now it looks like Harbinger of the Tides is cast. That will bounce the tapped Birds of Paradise. That one cannot be redirected with Spellskite. Spellskite wasn't tapped. So Berkenbile will recast. He's got 4 cards in hand. And very interested to see what they all are. We see Noble Hierarch added in. Says go. Has Path to Exile and Maelstrom Pulse in hand as his graveyard continues to be eaten away by Relic. He really is just waiting for a Gavany Township, though.
Gavany Township, some Collected Companies. I mean, Township on its own, without having to cast a single other spell in the game,
would win.
Likely wins.
Yeah. So these other ones, you know, Cocchiarella actually has covered with negate. So the reason I keep bringing up Township is the one I just don't know if Merfolk's going to answer it.
Right.
There are 5 creatures here, you know. Sure. Spreading Seas to pick up for Merfolk. Cocchiarella is going to go ahead and hit one of these lands. Looks like it's going to go on Overgrown. We'll go on Temple Garden.
Berkenbile has 3 dual lands, a Birds of Paradise, and a Noble Hierarch. This is just a cantrip.
Silvergill Adept to pick up for Cocchiarella, though I don't believe he's got a Merfolk in hand, so that costs 5 until he draws one.
Yep, and only 4 untapped at this point.
Looks like we might be dismembering. He's going to try for Fiend Hunter. That goes to 16. I mean, Spellskite's probably, yeah. And he gave Sam the blue mana. Heads up play there as he redirects it using that. Yeah, he had the birds. Yeah, the birds is summoning sick. No, he actually had to do it. That's great.
I mean,
that's so good.
It's great, and like, you know, I think that's great. But the 2 life doesn't really matter. It's a feel bad.
No, these players really have to be worried about the clock here. Just over a minute remaining. Kitchen Finks for Sam Berkenbile. That is the 2nd combo piece. We see we do have Viscera Seer with it.
Halfway there.
Right. Berkenbile going to go up to 19. And he does have Maelstrom Pulse for the Relic of Progenitus. So though negate covers it, it's still going to be hard.
It plays not pretty in the first place.
Birds swings for 1 thanks to Exalted. Pass.
And we are getting dangerously close to time. Just over 40 seconds on the clock.
There's Silvergill Adept. Cocchiarella did draw Merfolk, another Harbinger of the Tides. He'll draw another card off the Adept. It's another island. Island is land number 7? Yeah, 7. There's no way Cocchiarella's winning this game. Well, maybe there is. He's going to go bounce the Birds of Paradise.
He's certainly hurting for a Lord.
Berkenbile here. We're just about to the end of time. And we hit 0. We'll confirm that time has been called. Maelstrom Pulse on both Harbinger of the Tides is the try for Sam. This shouldn't get Cocchiarella's negate, but yeah, he lets them both die. He is hanging on to that negate. All right, this is a turn 0, so Noble Hierarch from Berkenbile. He will have turns 2 and 4. Now keep in mind that he actually, though he can make infinite life, needs another turn to kill his opponent using the combo.
See if he's able to generate enough damage output to win just in the combat step. I don't know if that's going to be the case. He's only going to get 2 more turns to do that. Currently his beatdown plan is pretty anemic. Cocchiarella also with a couple blockers at the ready.
Fiend Hunter will attack in. It exalts. I suppose Cocchiarella could double block here. Oh no, it's exalted twice. It's a 3/5. Just kidding. He goes to 12.
That would be a very bad double block. He would not kill the Fiend Hunter.
Another birds.
And lose both of his creatures.
Yeah, Relic eats away a card. So turn 1 is for Cocchiarella. Draws Lord of Atlantis. And I'm interested to see if he's going to attempt to play for the win or just hold a draw. Lord of Atlantis here. He could activate Mutavault and crash in. And I like, because of how this tournament is, where we don't think 6-2-1 makes day 2, I like that. I mean, the Cocchiarella is doing this. I don't think, it's unlikely he wins in enough time, but he's going to attack for 6.
Yeah. Draws are very bad.
Yeah, draws are so bad here that this is not the safest line, but I like that he's playing it.
Right.
Turn 2 goes to Berkenbile. He's going to end step sacrifice a Birds of Paradise to scry off Viscera Seer.
We're actually in a spot where if Cocchiarella cracks his Relic and produces double Lord, he has a lethal attack on the following turn. He can produce lethal over the following 2 turns that he gets, one way or the other.
Yeah, he might be able. You're right. He might be able to do it. Turn 2 is Berkenbile's. Yeah, Merfolk is really good at producing a ton of damage out of nowhere. We know both Maelstrom Pulse and Path to Exile in Berkenbile's hand. It's going to Maelstrom Pulse the Lord of Atlantis. Is this enough to get the negate? Now Sam's really got to determine if he's playing for the win or the draw.
Well, we're at a spot where Berkenbile only gets 1 more turn. I suppose he has enough mana to cast Collected Company as well in this turn.
I mean, by not negating here, Sam is playing for the draw now. Like, if you want to try to win, he'd have to negate.
Right.
It just seems unlikely that he can win without that. And yeah, not cracking Relic. Yeah, it looks, he goes to 7 on that attack, but Cocchiarella appears to be shoring up for a draw.
And might have been a Lord off the top there, certainly a blue card.
Right, so if Sam had negated and then cracked Relic, drawn Lord, played Lord, swung, maybe he wins. Looks like a swing here for 6. So put Berkenbile down to 7. So there is actually still the
He has a chance to win on turn 5.
Yeah.
He still has negate backup in case Berkenbile produces Collected Company or Court of Calling.
He would need one more to find 1 more damage. Path on the Master of the Pearl Trident. Is Sam going to negate now? That was Berkenbile's last card. I think I negate in Cocchiarella's spot. You're certain? I don't know. I don't think you can win, and we still could, I guess.
He can
win.
still
win even without negating.
I don't think that he actually loses if he doesn't negate. I suppose if Berkenbile is able to assemble Anafenza combo.
Well, hold on.
If Berkenbile gets Anafenza plus Melira off of Collected Company on the following turn, he can win.
Ryan, if he doesn't negate, Cocchiarella's at 7. There's 5 power on the table.
5 is less than 7.
Yeah, but there are some cards in Berkenbile's deck.
Gavany Township would certainly
I don't
kill
want to
him.
lose to that.
No, I do like the negate
Murderous
here.
red cap kills him. You know, it's like, I don't, yeah.
And Cocchiarella does pull the trigger on the counter spell.
Right. So negate on the path. Both players empty-handed now. Berkenbile getting ready to take turn number 4. And I imagine end step he's going to do some scrying.
And Cocchiarella still has that relic and 1 mana untapped. Gonna be pretty tough to kitchen finks through that. Yeah, at this point, Berkenbile's gone through those Maelstrom Pulse.
He's going to scry some. A Collected Company could do it. Could at least keep him alive. I don't know if it can. Winning might be harder. He's debating this scry here. This is the first of 2 Noble Hierarchs. Spike Feeder. If he doesn't want to lose, Spike Feeder is a fine option. Though it's pretty unexciting. So he's going to scry it to the bottom. Try again.
Looks like he just saw a card that's worse than Spike Feeder.
So what Spike Feeder, yeah, if you wanted to play for the draw, Spike Feeder would have been very good. You play it on 3 mana, you swing. Sam has to block because it can throw some counters around. Then when he blocks, you kill his lord, say go, accept the draw.
Right.
Certainly, I think if you kill the lord, it's really it's unlikely that Cocchiarella can win through that. I'm just not sure. So yeah, he's scryed again. I'm not sure he can do too much more. He's gonna. Yeah, he'll just untap. Turn 4. Draws a card. Is it? It'd have to be great. Collected Company would be great. Court of Calling is...
Not bad.
Yeah, if Sam cracks the relic, you could in response chord for Melira and gain infinite life. And then... Gavany Township. This is later than he wanted it to be.
This forces a block.
Yeah, this makes the draw very likely.
Right.
But that's about all it does. That said, forcing the block is, I think, a necessary evil. Berkenbile's going to swing the team. So it's for 5. If Sam doesn't block, he takes 8. So yeah, he'll block Kitchen Finks. Township the team. Lord is down. Cocchiarella takes 4. Goes to 3. And that's going to be it.
Berkenbile still dead to double Lord.
So Relic will draw a card. Yeah, if Sam draws 2 Lords, that could work.
That was a Lord.
See Berkenbile here, actually now that the Relic's gone, sacrifices Kitchen Finks to gain 2 more life.
Okay, that puts him out of range. Cocchiarella can only get up to 8 power.
Regery, Spreading Seas. Close. Not totally there. Spreading Seas on probably the Township. Yep. Gavany Township draws a card. It's an island that not going to be able to win. Plays Regery. Yeah, activates Mutavault. No players here is going to be able to win here. So players are going to have a short discussion here, but it looks like on board they're going to head for a draw.
Right. Yep. Cocchiarella demonstrates that he can turn off Gavany Township, and whatever happens here, if they're at time, that's 5 turns.
Yeah, you can discuss it. It's unclear who wins from here still, unfortunately. Like, I don't, it's not that Berkenbile has him dead on the next turn. They're pretty close.
Right.
So we're going to get a draw between the players, and that's going to do it for round number 7. So both players at 5-1-1. Because their draws so late in the day, if some 6-2-1s make it, they're in a fine spot for that. But we'll have to see, at least for both of them.
It feels a lot like a loss.
Yeah, certainly does here. So that's going to do it for round number 7. We are going to have more win-ins, though, and 2 more rounds of coverage. So we're going to take a short break, as that one went to time, and then we'll be back with round 8 coverage of the Dallas Open.